Alright, what's up guys? Jaret Campisi back at the track for another video. Today we're going to be talking about pre-meet. What should you be doing the day before a meet in order to get the best out of your performance? And if you don't get this right, it can drastically affect how well you run. So before... stick around.
Oh, nothing lasts forever.
Alright, so before we start, same deal if you watched my last video on 5 tips to instantly run faster. I have a clothing line, I have a bunch of custom plans, including track plans, diet plans, workout plans, all available on my website. It is jcamfit.com. If you're watching this video, you can use the code RUNFASTER. I'll put it up on the screen right here. And you can save 20% off anything on my website. Just put it in at checkout, and that's my way of saying thanks for watching my videos and showing you guys some love, okay? So, getting into this one, track and field pre-meet. I've been getting a lot of questions on what should I be doing the day before my meet. Does it have any effect on my performance? And you know, what should I be doing basically? So, track and field pre-meet, here's what you should be doing. First off, the time of the season will make a difference. If you're one of the better athletes on your team and you're going to be going longer into the end of the season, I used to train through a lot of meets. So what does that mean? It means, say you have a track meet on Saturday, Friday would be your pre-meet, the day before your meet. So if you're training through a meet, all that means is you're not changing what you would normally be doing on Friday. So let's say Friday would normally be some sort of interval workout. It means you would still do that interval workout, still get your lift in. Saturday you would go to the meet, you would run at the meet, but you're basically treating it as a glorified practice, okay? And so I used to do this pretty much for the first half of my meets throughout the year. They were basically glorified practices for me because if you start backing off too early, you'll peak too soon in your season. And then once you peak and come down off your peak, you only hold your peak for a week or two, maybe like 3 weeks if you're really advanced. Then you start coming down off that peak and you start running slower times. There's really not much you can do about it besides taking rest and starting your training program all over again, okay? So if it's early in the season, then yeah, and if you're a really good athlete, then you probably just train through some of those pre-meets. But if you're getting towards the end of the season, like we are now, then you're going to be doing traditional pre-meets, okay? So what does that mean? It means you're basically going to be doing a really light, high quality focused workout, okay? So that means you're going to do your standard track warm-up, you're going to do your running drills, whatever you do to get warmed up, and then you're going to do some striders, and then you're going to do event specific stuff, okay? So if you're a 100-meter guy, you're going to set up the blocks, go out of the blocks a couple of times, maybe like 2 to 3 times, make sure your start is good, and that's it. If you're a 100 guy who does the 4x1, then that means you grab your teammates after you do your block starts, you practice your handoffs maybe like 1 or 2 times to make sure everything's right, and then you're done. Do some striders, get a stretch, and get off the track, okay? It shouldn't take more than like an hour to an hour and 20 minutes, okay, for a pre-meet. You're just getting up to speed, making sure everything's right for your event, and then you get out of there, okay? You want your legs to be fresh for the next day for your big important meets, and so that's why you don't do too much the day before. Definitely no lifting, definitely no hard workouts, and definitely don't do too many reps of what I'm talking about right now, okay? So that's the 100 meters. If you're a 200-meter runner, I'd set up a block on the curve, go out of the blocks on the curve once or twice, and then maybe that's good enough for that, and then maybe practice your float phase or coming off the curve, no more than like 30 to 40 meters, and it's just like 2 to 3 reps of each thing, and then you're done, okay? Same thing if you're a 200 guy that runs a 4x1, do a couple of handoffs with your 4x1 team, and then you're done, okay? If you're a hurdler, 110 hurdler, or even 300 hurdler or 400 hurdler, what I used to do is set up my blocks, check my steps to the first hurdle and make sure that everything was hitting perfectly, and then maybe if you want to check your steps to the second hurdle, you can do that as well. So go out over one hurdle maybe like 2 or 3 times, make sure everything feels really good, and then if that feels good, try going over the first 2 hurdles, make sure everything feels right, make sure you're hitting your steps perfectly in stride, make sure you're running at a race pace, okay? So this isn't like practice speed, the 75%, this is like race pace, making sure that when that gun goes off and you're all of a sudden in competition mode, that you're hitting your steps correctly, okay? Because some people act differently in practice than they do in meets, and that's how you'll come up and hit the wrong step and stutter step, or just completely blow the hurdle altogether. And you want to make sure you figure that stuff out the day before instead of the day of the meet, okay? And then if you're a long sprinter, 400 sprinter, go out of the blocks, make sure your steps feel good coming up out of the blocks, and then I would practice some float phase stuff. So coming off the curve, settling into your float phase, and again, at race pace, and making sure you feel really good and everything feels right, okay? And then same thing if you're a 4x4 guy and you're running the 400, practice the 4x4 handoffs with your team. Make sure that you guys focus when you're going through stuff in pre-meet. Pre-meet isn't just because, oh, it's a lighter day, we can mess around and stuff like that. No, that's not how it is. Pre-meet is one of the most important days of the week, so you got to make sure that you're really focused. Get your good quality reps in, practice your 4x4 handoffs with your team, make sure you're doing everything right, make sure you're treating it like a race. That's the whole point of pre-meet. And then, you know, get the quality reps in, and then do your cool down and get off the track, okay? I've seen a lot of injuries happen on pre-meet days because maybe you were starting to back off a little bit that week, things are starting to feel good, you think it's just a light day, you're messing around with your friends, and then boom, you step and twist your ankle, or you hit a hurdle and, you know, blow out your knee or something like that. So it's fine to screw around when things are done, but when you're in the heat of the moment and you're doing those high intensity things, make sure you're really focusing on what you're doing, visualizing the race, what you're gonna do the next day, and it will make a huge difference on how well you run. I used to get super nervous even the day before my race, especially big races, Big Tens, NCAA All-Americans, Olympic trials. I would be nervous like a week before my race, and I would just be literally practicing over and over, visualizing my stuff, obviously practicing it on the track, and it makes a huge difference, okay guys? So, you know, take care of the little things, they will add up to the big things at the end. And that's it. That's all you should be doing for your pre-meet. It doesn't really change based on, you know, how good you are, your level of athletic talent, all that kind of stuff. It's pretty much the same. Do a couple of reps out of the blocks, do a couple of reps practicing your steps to the hurdles, your float phases, do your handoffs, and shut it down. That's about it, okay? So I hope that was helpful for you guys. If it was, be sure to hit the thumbs up. If you want to see specific videos, you have specific questions about track and field, leave a comment below. We make sure to read all those comments, and we'll address, maybe we'll pick one of them to make a video on. Again, if you guys want to pick up some apparel or some custom plans, head over to my website, JaretCampisi.com, use the code RUNFASTER, and you'll save 20% on anything you order. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.